I'm Jamie Gorman, the host of Be Better at Business TV. My guest this morning is pastry chef and budding YouTube star with over 1 million YouTube views, Jason Schreiner, the Aubergine Chef. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Jamie.
This morning we're going to be talking about how to use online video marketing to market your business and to brand yourself. So you just put together these videos, you just stick them up on YouTube, and then you just wait for the views and the cash to roll in, right?
No, it's actually a lot more complicated than that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the first thing you want to do, you need to realize, is that when you upload videos to YouTube as a new user, you're limited to how long the video can be. Which we said was, you should aim for 3 to 5 minutes, and the limit is about 10 minutes.
Okay.
But then, again, that was very difficult for me because of my longer shows. So again, you have that limit. Now, after you reach a certain point, now I don't know what they're measuring because I don't think they really tell anybody.
Right.
It could be your views, your subscriptions, your number of uploads, that kind of stuff. They remove that. They lift that limit, so you can upload up to 15 or just infinite. And then after that, they should invite you to become a partner.
Okay.
And that's where you can start monetizing your videos. And when you agree to it and stuff like that, you can start putting ads onto your videos. So it's kind of like, if you're familiar with Google AdWords, it's kind of like the other end of Google AdWords. So now you're putting ads and videos on top of your video. So like, a lot of people will watch my video and the first 30 seconds will be a commercial. So for every view and for every click, I get a certain amount of revenue.
Okay.
But at the same time, you don't want to tell your friends and families, oh, click all these ads as fast as you can, as much as you can.
Right. They're onto that, huh?
Right. Well, what they'll do is they'll know where those clicks are coming from. They even know when I watch my own videos because they take it away from my revenue, which is fine. It makes sense.
Right.
But if you do a lot of that and you abuse it, what ends up happening is you get banned from the marketing program, and they will never invite you back again.
Yeah. Okay. What do you do to promote your videos? So how do you get viewers? How do you get people to come and watch it?
Well, I'm really lucky because as a food blogger, people are always searching for recipes and Googling that kind of stuff. But I also do some smaller promotion things. Like I'll share it on Facebook. I'll say I have this new video uploaded. Take a look at it. I also tell my friends and families about it.
Right.
I also try to sync it with the holidays, so that way it's a little bit more current.
Okay.
So for Easter, I did a hot crust buns episode. For St. Patrick's Day, I did a Dubliner cake. So that way it's a little bit more relevant, and that way it seems more relevant to people on YouTube.
Okay. So making sure that you have, using that seasonal kind of relevant topic.
Right.
And then I'm assuming on your YouTube, you fill out the description and those types of things.
Correct.
There's a lot of good keywords in there for people to search.
Right. Always the SEO. Another thing you can do, especially if you're starting out, is you can start using the paid promotion. So you're getting to the Google AdWords side.
Right.
So your videos become those videos that are appearing on mine. So instead of a car commercial, I could see your video, like a 30-second clip. You can also have your video show up as a featured videos on that right sidebar where it says, other videos related to this are interested in.
Okay.
So it's just, you can use that in the beginning, but as you start getting more organic views and more organic shares, you really won't be needing to rely on that as much.
Right, because then you can start building your other social media and other types of things where you have more of an audience and you can just share, and people are going to be more likely to follow you as you brand yourself.
Right, and as you brand yourself, you should have a Facebook fan page. Don't just have a YouTube account. Have somewhere where you can send people so they can like it. So that way you have your audience. Hey, I just shared this on YouTube, take a look at it, and so that way you can manage your social media accounts all at the same time.
Right. Good. So you've talked about the time, and you've alluded to it a little bit, but what, let's say that I want to do a 2 to 3 minute video once a week. What kind of time and financial commitment should I be planning for there?
Well, again, like we said, for the financial commitment, it just depends on how much you want to spend on your equipment, and again, you make sure you spend your money wisely.
Right.
For time, you really want to make sure that you sit down and think, well, what kind of things do I want to get out of this video? So again, if you want to have a good script or something like that, you might want to spend a few days working on your script or something like that. Depends on how good of a writer you are, of course. Then you want to make sure that wherever you're going to take the film, it makes sense. Like if we were going to do a showing of a house, we don't want it to be raining.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're aware of the weather and that kind of stuff. A lot of the timing so you're talking about pre-production before we start editing.
Yes.
You want to just make sure that you have a lot of time on hand, because whenever I do a recipe, it takes twice as long as I regularly make a recipe.
Right.
Because you're constantly moving around. You have to move your lighting. You have to move your camera. You have to move your microphone. All that kind of stuff. So you're basically going back and forth the same path over and over again, as opposed to when you're doing the recipe and you're only going once.
Right. Right.
So I always say, think of how long it's going to take, and then double it.
Okay. What about the post-production?
Post-production, again, it depends on how good you were to yourself in the beginning. So, like, if you did those little tricks where you don't move and before you collect your thoughts again, you can do a jump cut, and then it'll be a lot quicker than squeezing in a transition and then resyncing the audio. You want to make sure that you have at least a couple days for editing until you get used to it. 2 to 3 minutes, you can usually do it pretty quickly, because what I end up doing is I end up watching my entire video, and then I put the edits in that way, because it's very difficult for me to remember what I said in like an hour, hour and a half, and then I'll bring it that hour and a half all the way down to like 9 minutes, 10 minutes. So it just
So there's some stuff as you're going through, you can go boom boom. I know I can cut that, and boom boom I can cut that, and then you kind of bring it down to 9, and then the real work begins to get it down to the 2 to 3 or whatever.
Right. And you just need to figure out what's the most important things you're saying. See if you can break it up into 2 separate videos. Why not? You can have 3 3-minute videos instead of 1 9-minute video, and then reference them in with the annotations, and that way you can have people watch 3 videos instead of 1.
Right. So it could take some time, and the equipment is kind of variable, but a lot of pre-planning helps you with the post-production, and you can kind of bring that down. And you got to find something you're comfortable with, and then you can do, right?
Right, exactly. And the more you practice and the more you do it, just like we were saying earlier, the faster you'll get at it. When I first did my videos, it took me an entire weekend. Now I can do it in a matter of hours.
Okay.
So, but don't think that it'll take you only 3 hours to edit a video. I mean, I've done it a lot, so I don't want you to get in there.
It can be. Anybody who's done family videos can kind of see the same thing. Take that 30-minute family video that everybody's okay with, and see if you can cut that down to 5 minutes. And it takes some time. So we are live here on Be Better Business TV, and I think we have a question from our audience.
Do I need to start and promote my own show for video marketing to be effective?
Yeah, so, do I really have to, if I'm going to use online video marketing, do I have to do it big like you're doing and have my own show and get 1 million viewers, or is there something in between nothing and there that's going to be effective?
Well, it just depends on what your goals are, again.
Okay.
Now, when I think of a show, I think of something that regularly occurs and happens a lot. And some people don't have that kind of time commitments. I mean, like, I had to actually reduce the number of shows I release or episodes I release because it was such a time commitment on me, which is great because it means it was working.
Right.
But, again, it depends on what your goals are. So if you only want to show someone what your facility looks like and you just want to upload it to your website, you only have to have that one episode or that one scene or whatever. If you're doing your, just open houses or the showing of your houses, again, you don't have a regular show because it's not like you're getting a new listing every week or whatever.
Right.
Oh, I hope you guys are, because that's kind of
that'd be good.
Yes, exactly. And you just want to make sure you're just promoting it the way that it makes sense. So, for example, if you have I keep going back to real estate because I'm so familiar with it, just like baking. But like, if you have a house that's a listing, take a video of that house, put it on a QR code, and put it on your flyer. So that way you're saving on the promotion and the marketing. So that way your video is being promoted the same way your listing's being promoted. Make it make sense for you.
Great. Yeah. So I like that aspect of setting your goals and using that for your marketing goals.
Yes.
Do you have another question, Alyssa?
What software do you use for editing?
Oh, I forgot to mention this.
Okay.
I actually use iMovie right now.
Okay. So iMovie comes standard on a Mac, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And it was really nice because I didn't have to buy another thing after a Mac, so how expensive Macs are. But on my Windows computer at work, I use PowerDirector. I think I have 8, but I think it's like up to double digits by now. And those are just some simple things. You can do some simple editing, some simple transitions, some simple titles and that stuff. PowerDirector is a little bit more powerful and a little bit easier to use than iMovie is to do certain things, because you have to do a few workarounds in iMovie to do the same things in PowerDirector. And I think PowerDirector was only like $50, $60. It was pretty inexpensive, so that we were happy about that. But if you want to do a more powerful or more editing or difficult stuff like that, you might want to start looking into like Adobe products or stuff like that.
Right. And I think what I've found in doing it is that you kind of get what you pay for in post-production.
Yes.
And you can buy some good cheaper ones for $100, $110. Like, there's a Premiere Elements that Adobe does that gives you a lot of things. But of course, if you're going to be doing this big time, then it's worth spending the extra money to get the additional features.
But don't put yourself all in. Don't make that this huge investment and then be like, oh, okay, well I just paid $800 for this software. So try one of the cheaper softwares first. Give it a try. See how you like it, and then if you're really into it, because like I said, I didn't know how long I was in this block. I'm notorious for starting projects. I have tons of unfinished board games sitting underneath my bed. And that's just one of the crafts that I do. So, if you find yourself that you don't know you're going to be dedicated to it, try one of the cheaper ones first, give it a couple tries, and if you say, like, you know what, I like this, let's move forward, then invest in the extra stuff.
Good. Great. Well, I want to thank Jason Schreiner, the Aubergine chef, for being here with us this morning. And Jason, just take a couple minutes here and tell us a little bit more about what you do and what the Aubergine Chef is all about.
Okay, sure. So the Aubergine Chef is an online food blog. That's how we started. I have my free recipe downloads, my free videos. We talk about food science, we talk about equipment and on technology and that kind of stuff. After that, I started teaching classes at the Manassas Park Community Center. Actually, I have one tonight. It's the cake decorating one where we're making Swiss buttercream and we're doing decorating flowers.
Okay.
And from there, I also do private demos for your home, your business, or your event. So I can come in and be like a live cooking show, or I can come in and make a cooking class for you in your house.
Right. I really like the events and kind of the party aspect of that to come in, because people look for entertainment, and that'd be a great thing to do for that.
Right. It's very difficult for adults to find something entertaining for kids. You know, you can hire a clown, you can hire a magician, but for an adult party, what do you do? So I'm trying to fill that niche.
Do a pastry chef and a wine tasting, and we'll be all set.
I'm into it.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again for being with us. I'm Jamie Gorman, the host of Be Better at Business TV and the CEO of Sigma Business Management. Being better at business helps you make better decisions, which leads to better results. At Sigma Business Management, we help you do that, to be better at business and to get those results.